Kayla, how do you feel about having some sort of punishment for a late video update? Because this is kind of terrible, and I'm sorry, but I felt really sick. And now I'm running very late to a meeting that I'm supposed to be there for. 12 minutes already, 11:44 a.m. Yes, let's try to do this really quick. The topic today is slut shaming. I saw some comments on Kayla's last video that highly disturbed me. A few people didn't see the word slut as derogatory and didn't understand the severity of its use. Just to clear up any misunderstanding, slut is a general term that encompasses any other derogatory term used to describe women perceived as sexually active. So yes, that would include slut, skank, hoe, whore, any other dehumanizing word that you can come up with. As Kayla did such a great job explaining what slut shaming is and how it affects society altogether, I'm just going to focus on some facts to really bring out the severity of the use of this word. I'll start with a terrible event posted in the news on May 11th, 2012. 13-year-old Rachel Ehmke committed suicide 2 days after a mass text was sent out stating that she was a slut and needed to be driven out of the school. She was called slut, prostitute multiple times, had her locker vandalized, and essentially was terrorized to death. Ashlyn Cooper, a 10-year-old, committed suicide for a similar reason. She was called ugly, fat, and of course, slut. We hear these stories over and over and over again to the point that I wonder if it doesn't become a little distancing to hear or even a little bit unrealistic for people. Now, I'm sure if you conducted a survey on bullying, the participants would all respond similarly with something to the effect of bullying is bad. So why is slut shaming not taken as seriously? Especially considering it's being used as a weapon to terrorize little girls and oftentimes leading to their death. But sure, for some reason when we think of sluts, we usually think of adult women, maybe sexually active women, maybe sex workers, usually women with more than one partners, maybe, but most of the time has to do with women. Sexuality has been so dehumanized to the point that you're made to feel very dirty simply for having sexual thoughts. But it's human. It is part of our nature. And I just don't understand why a woman's sexuality should be such a point of contention within our society or should be governed by anything else but her choice. Of course, calling a man a slut is simply plain ridiculous. Why, the big old man ought to be proud to be called a slut. There's nothing more complimentary than that. Slut, man, insult, nope. He does the fucking, she just gets fucked. Wikipedia tells us that the etymology of the word is pretty much unknown. Chaucer used it in both reference to sloven men and women, so how the word came to solely refer to sexually active women or women's sexuality in general is just unknown. But I digress. It still remains that slut shaming is deadly and is particularly correlated with rape and death. On the blog Bite Me Beautiful, Jenn offers us some facts that will help us in our understanding of the severity of slut shaming. My two favorites are particularly, and I quote, UCLA researchers found 54% of teenage boys thought rape was acceptable if a woman led him on, and a third, that's 34%, of people in the UK believe that a woman is partially or totally responsible for being raped if she has behaved in a flirtatious manner. Is this okay? I really hope that for your sake you didn't really have to think about that. I really hope I don't have to train anyone on the basics of consensual sex. No means no, not now means no. I'm asleep means no, I'm drunk means no. If I'm not saying yes, it means no. A short skirt is not an invitation for rape. That 50% of the young adult male participants in this survey perceived rape as okay if the woman is considered a slut is just indicative of our group mentality. Obviously, rape culture and slut shaming isn't a thing that happens overnight. It is ingrained in our society. It permeates all our consciousness and really governs the way we see and perceive our reality. Slut shaming is normalized in our culture. Women are supposed to act a certain way. Women are supposed to look a certain way. And when they don't fit this model, it's okay to shame them. And it's not okay. And in the case of Ashlyn Cooper, it wasn't okay. And I know I keep referring back to Ashlyn Cooper, but she is a great example of what little girls have to go through on a daily basis. So yes, I don't blame the little kids who terrorized Rachel and Ashlyn to death. Neither do I blame the male participants in the UCLA survey for ever thinking rape is ever okay. This is how we're thought to treat female sexuality. We'll leave you with this. To disagree with slut shaming, to act out against it, is to think outside of the box and to refuse the shackles that have been and restraints that have been placed upon you by society.